2. Simple random sampling. This type of sampling is also called as probability sampling or chance sampling, where each item in the population has an equal chance of inclusion in the sample and each sample having the probability of being selected in the sampling procedure. For example, names of 20 employees being selected out of 250 employees in a company. In this case, the population is all 250 employees, and the sample is random because each employee has an equal chance of being chosen. There are basically three methods to conduct the random sampling. If we select a sample of 300 items from a population of 2000 items, then we can write up the names of all the 2000 items on slips of paper and conduct the lottery. This is called lottery method. The second method of random sampling is using a random number table, and third method is by using the computer, in which the computer is used for selecting a sample of prize winners, a sample of Hajj applicants, and a sample of applicants for residential plots and for various other purposes. 3. Systematic sampling. Whenever a researcher chooses some specific name or number from the population, then this type of sampling is known as systematic sampling. In some example, the most practical way of sampling is to select every 10th name in an index, every 15th shop on single side of a street etc. and component of unpredictability is generally commenced into this type of sampling by using random numbers to pick and choose up the item with which to start. This method is helpful when sampling frame is available in the form of a list. In such type of sample design, the practice of selection process begins by picking some random point in the list, and then every north item is selected until the desired number is secured. 4. Stratified sampling. In stratified sampling, the researcher divides the population into separate groups, called strata, or we can say that stratification is the process of dividing members of the population into homogeneous subgroups before sampling. In this technique, the population is divided into a number of non-overlapping subpopulations or strata, and sample elements are selected from each stratum. If the item selected from each stratum is based on simple random sampling technique, incomplete process of sampling means first stratification and then simple random sampling. This type of sampling is known as stratified random sampling. 5. Quota sampling. A sampling method of collecting the data from a group. Quota sampling is different from stratified sampling, because in a stratified sample, personnel within each stratum are chosen at random. Quota sampling attains a representative age distribution, but it is not a random sample, because the sampling frame is unknown.
In stratified sampling, the cost of taking random samples from individual strata is very expensive, so that interviewers are simply given quota for the selection of items from sample of different strata.